All right, y'all, what is up? It is me, it is Jersey Cat. I'm going to do this intro before we launch the boat, that way I don't forget. Plus, we're waiting for the sun to come up a little bit more before we get out there and start, graphing the area, looking for fish. We are pre-fishing for a tournament tomorrow, so we're going to be out here solo. There's going to be a lot of running around today. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. We're just going to go out there, we're going to fish, we're going to pull baits, and we're going to hopefully catch some fish. I'm going to look for fish over open water. I have a feeling that the cold front that is upon us may have pushed some fish back out over open water, so that's what we're going to look for this morning. If we don't find open water fish, I guess we'll creep back into the backs of some of these creek arms, but not the main creek arm that everybody's fishing. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, that's about all I got, man. We're just sitting around waiting for the sun to come up a little more before we launch the boat. Other than that, man, that's all I got. Stick around. All right, folks, we were starting the graph when we pulled out of the boat ramp, and we started marking a ton of bait. So we're just gonna put the lines out where the bait is and see what happens. Old saying, find the bait, find the fish. So we'll see. We'll play that saying for all it's worth. Everything's so cold and unhappy this morning. My trolling motor's like, why? Why are you making me do this today? Do you not love me? Stripers. We got stripers on the sonar if you care. We got stripers on the sonar. We got stripers on the sonar. Yes, we got stripers on the sonar. We got stripers on the sonar. If you care. We'll be catching big stripers on some shad. We'll be catching big stripers on the shad. Well, the herring will pass his thread fence today. My fingertips are so cold for touching the herring. Golly. Putting rods out is going to be a process this morning. Yee boy. I had a bright idea to load up the boat last night with a lot of stuff, and everything that was in the boat last night is frozen. Not my smartest idea yet. But hey, this is practice for a tournament tomorrow, so as long as we don't make the stupid mistakes tomorrow, we'll be fine. Right? I mean, right? What I'm thinking. Golly, my fingertips are so cold. Wow. Just came over top of a whole pile of stripers. Need to get a downline out there. I put downlines out right now, not so much for the bite as I do for the advertisement. I believe that the downline gets the fish interested to come up and look at the baits and gets them close to the boat. In turn, gets them closer to your baits that are out there on your flat lines and your planer boards. And they might not be prone to hit a bait right under the boat, but they'll be prone to go out 20 feet and grab one of those baits on the perimeter. So, do I think you need to have a downline out there to catch fish? Not necessarily on the downline, but I do believe it greatly increases your chances of getting bit on your other rods. That's my dinner bell ringer. You know what I mean? That's one that says, "Hey, come on, boys, come take a look at everything else I got for you." And then when they come in close, they're like, I don't know, there's that big boat right there. And then they're like, oh, but what's that out there? Looks tasty. Look at that. See what I'm talking about? Well, you can't because the thing's over here. But I just put that down line down and fish can zoom right up to it. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put out a flat line with a split shot on it. man, there's a lot of fish down there shopping our bait right now. This essentially is going to work as another downline, but away from the boat. So, because that little shiner is really not going to be able to drag that split shot around, so he's going to stay at probably 25 foot. If I put a 50 foot out there, so you figure it'll probably be at a 45-degree angle, you know, divided by half, so that'd probably be about 25 foot deep. And it's weird, some days that's the only rod you'll get bites on, is that split shot flat line. But what's crazy is you'll put split shots out on your perimeter boards and you won't get bit on them. It'll just be that particular rod every time. You know, I ain't never been able to call it. Sometimes stripers are just very, very picky about where and how they want to see a bait before they'll grab it. That's one of the intriguing parts about fishing for them, you know, is their habits, the many different quirks of a striped bass. You know, I am a bass fisherman too, so I think I am qualified to speak on this. So, I mean, you know, a spotted bass wants to see erratic action, certain colors, things like that. Striped bass want to see size profile, and, you know, sometimes something just blew up out there somewhere, but you know, they want to see a certain size profile sometimes, and that's it. That's all they want to know about. They don't want to know nothing about no action, nothing. They just want to see something this big and white, and that is it. That's the reason why we use the shiners, because if they're out there feeding on those little tiny thread fins, the thread fins, they're horrible for bait. Well, the bigger thread fins are okay-ish, but the little thread fins, they're useless as bait almost, unless the thread fins are dying and you're just dragging around dead floating thread fins, which is something that works, but they don't stay alive worth the crap out there on a hook. Come on, trolling motor, what are you doing, man? It just stops working sometimes, man. I guess she's old, you know? Kind of like me, I stop working sometimes. I can see there's some birds and fish working down there towards Sea Buoy right now. I got a bite. Got one. Oh, well, you don't have to go, I'm fighting. Oh, I got 2 bites. One just come off. I got another one on right here. I'm double. I had a double. This is on my shad. My gizzard shad just got nailed. I'm in front of right now. Well, come on, Keith. Yeah, the downline got hit. The downline of this rod, my clicker ain't working on this rod. I look over, I'm like, I got a double. All right, maybe there is hope for this open water bite tomorrow. This is what I was hoping for. I want a fish to be out. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fish out here. This is a good fish. Yeah, I'm like right in front of it. If you pull at Van's Tavern, you can see me out here. I'm like literally like right by, I know it's like right near me somewhere. All right, so gizzard shad it is to my other board got hit too. Almost had me a triple. Well, it would have been a double again because the other fish come off. There's no triple. There's no triple when the other fish isn't hooked up anymore. Alright. Yeah, this fish hit a big gizzard shad. That was like a 10-inch gizzard shad that this fish hit. Feels good though, man. It's got a lot of weight. Like, you need to show up tomorrow, not today, buddy. I might even just leave this area after I catch this fish. You know, just go. I got this. I know there's fish out here, and I know they'll bite. So I'll stick this one in the back pocket for tomorrow. Let's see what's up with there. Glad I put a bigger leader on this rod. I put a 15-pound leader on it. This fish isn't like a runner, he's just heavy. Come on, you. Get up here. Fighting like a fucking flathead. Yeah, I think this is a good fish. That head shake is nice and slow. Come on, he's gonna see you, son of a bitch. Come on, Cletus. All right. All right, bye. Fish dragging us around. Come on. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's what we need tomorrow, boys. Yeah, buddy. Coming for you, boys. Woo! That's my biggest fish of the year right there. Holy crap, my fingers are cold. Look at that. Boom! That's my biggest fish in a long time. Boom, look at that, huh, boys? I'm gunning for that tournament tomorrow. Y'all better look out. All right, next spot. On to the next spot. Trolling motors down. All right, like I said, we could have kept going. There was birds busting out there. I mean, there was birds working out there, so there was some fish busting and chasing bait up to the surface. But I'm sorry, guys, I got to sacrifice the quality of this video for the sake of the fishing tournament tomorrow. So I mean, I know I could go over there and probably catch a few fish pretty quickly, and it'd probably make for a good video, but I really want to win that tournament tomorrow. So that's what we're shooting for. So we're gonna go fish over here. I'm trying to get 3 or 4, 2 good solid spots that I know I can go and catch 2 good fish early in the morning. And I will like another, like a second and third, you know, like a 3rd and 4th auxiliary area, you know what I mean? That I know I can probably go pluck off 1 or 2 as the day gets on a little bit. So that's what we're doing. This is a scouting adventure, not a YouTube adventure. The fisherman in me wants to just say the heck with it and go over there and just catch fish. The guy who wants to win the tournament is saying, no, Terry, bad Terry. Don't you turn this way, you stay away from my baits. The last thing I want to do this morning is hook a loon. Not fun trying to unhook an angry bird. No, sir. No, nobody likes to hook an angry bird. You hear him? He's just complaining because he wants to eat my bait, but I won't let him. That's what he's mad about. Said, I'm gonna eat your herring. I said, no, you're not, you angry, stupid bird. But yeah, okay, what I was gonna say is I try to keep my drag pretty loose when fishing with small hooks and shiners. And I try to put the shiners on the more limber rods because of the small hooks, and I think that actually gives you a better chance of getting the fish to the boat without the hook tearing out, because, you know, the limber rod and the light drag, you know, the limber rod kind of acts as a second drag, because, you know, if the fish does a quick short run, the rod kind of, you know, absorbs a lot of that tension, so the hook doesn't just rip out, because they're little tiny wire hooks, you know. And you really don't want to go too big on the hook size, because then it kills the bait, drags the bait towards the bottom, takes the action away from the bait. So you do have to kind of be mindful about the size hook you use with smaller baits. So just keep that in mind. I think that board just got hit. Yeah, there's a fish on that board. I don't know if you can see it coming up on it. Oh, he's almost got it. Come on. He's got it now. He's got it, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it. Moments I wish I had a stinger hook in the rod. Got him. Yeah, we got him. Fish ran right up under the boat. Come on. Oh, crap. Sitting here texting my friends, messaging me, Matt, you just cost me a fish. My downline got, yeah, got nailed. Heard this noise. Like, what is that noise? Fish on, fish on. Oh, I don't feel very big. Maybe it's just a big bass. I don't know. It's a dink. Oh no, it's a big old spotted bass. Monster spotted bass. Yeah, it's a hoss of a spot. Boom, look at the size of that spot, huh? Look at that. Boom! That's a hog of a spot right there. He's got to be 4 or 5. I don't have my scale in the boat, I don't think. Actually, yeah, I do. It's in here. 4.1 pounder. Boom. I know some guys will kill to have 5 of them by 3 p.m. But yeah, biggest spot I've caught this year. It's on live bait, so it don't really count, but. Let's get another shiner. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Shine on, you crazy shiner. That's a good one. That's a good one. Gotta be careful with this because it's got a little hook on it. shiner hook on it, so, and I'm pretty sure this is a quality fish. You see the way that rod went down? No slack. I'll let off. Too much slack on the rod. Come on, trolling motor. You're really creating some problems here. Stay forward. Stupid freaking trolling motor. I'm gonna lose this fish. Trolling motor's trying to cost me some fish. I really need to get these rods out of these rollers because they're really becoming a pain in the butt. Net. Get ready. He's not a giant, but definitely what we're looking for. Especially if the fish is tough tomorrow. Are you serious? Gotcha. Golly. My net got hooked on my mixed stick on my rod. But boom. There we go, another quality fish. 29 1/4 inches, so we would have 33 1/4, 63 1/4 right now. All right, so if we were fishing this tournament, we'd be 63 1/4 inches. I don't know if that's gonna be enough to win. That should be enough to get us up towards the top. We'd like to hit like another 32, 30, 31, 32, 33 inch fish, you know? All right, y'all, what is up? It is me, it is Jersey Cat here. First off, I'd like to say sorry for the delay in videos. We had some car issues that have been going on for quite a while now. It was sucking up a lot of my extra income, and that was affecting like my fishing trips and how far I could go and how far I want to go fishing. When I initially started up this channel, I had all these aspirations to go fish all over the Southeast at all these different places. And the problem was a lot of my expendable income was getting ate up with these vehicles. And so we freed it up. We have a card payment now, but I did the math on it. I'm still probably going to make out $150 to $200 cheaper per month having this car with a card payment than I did having those two trucks. But yeah, so hopefully with this new vehicle, we will get back on the adventure part of our channel, you know, not just the Lake Lanier part of our channel. So keep an eye out for that. I actually do have plans to go somewhere else this weekend. I'm not going to reveal that yet because I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet. Plus, I don't want to ruin the surprise. But anyway, what I did was I explained some tactics in this video while I was fishing, but unless you see the rig and what I was using, it's kind of hard to understand what I was doing. So I'm going to show you real quick here. At one point, you hear me talk of a downline putting it out. This is just a common downline right here. This is a 2-ounce weight with 2 swivels on the end. That way your line doesn't get all twisted up. I don't know how well that camera's focusing on it, so we'll swing it around a few times. But yeah, so there's your swivel, you know, your swivel sinker. It's got swivels on both ends to keep the line twist from happening. And I got about a 6 to 7 foot leader of fluorocarbon. On this rod, I think, yeah, a 12-pound test fluorocarbon leader with a small hook matching the size of the bait I'm using, which at that day was shiners. And they also make different styles of downline weights. This is this downline weight here is a 1-ouncer, and I tend to, what I do is when running downlines, I put the heavier downline at the front of the boat. That way, the swing, or what's the word, the angle that your line is while you're trolling is less because of the heavy weight keeping your line straighter coming off the rod. And I put a lighter weight towards the back, which gets a longer angle. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? Steeper angle, increased angle, you know, so the lines don't ever come in contact. Because if you have your lighter leader towards your lighter sinker towards the front of the boat and your heavier sinker towards the back, your front line is going to meet the rod in the back, and it's going to get all tangled up. So you want the heavier weight up front. That's what I do. That's how I do it. Other guys do it different. I like the lighter weight in the back of the boat because I think the lighter weight gets further away from the boat with the swing of the angle or the pendulum. And sometimes the fish want that bait that's not on their boat. Sometimes they'll come up and they'll eyeball this, because you can see what's going on your sonar unit if you have a decent sonar unit. You can see the fish come up to it and eyeball it. You know, they come up to it, eyeball it, and shoot right back down. And that's happening with the rod underneath the boat more often than not. And then you got the other line that's further away from the boat. That's what they grab. All right. Tactic number 2 that you heard me speak of. Let me wrap this up. That way I don't get a hook in my hand or my foot or one of my cats, you know. Best to not leave a dangling hook just hanging out. Bad things tend to happen. All right. Now, the other tactic I was telling you about in that video, I was talking about I was talking about a flat line with split shots on it. This is my flat line. There are split shots you can add and remove. That's what I like about this line. This line just goes straight out the back, and it's what I call my my flat line. You know, just straight out the back of the boat. It's got a swivel and bead on it, you know, so I can run a lighter leader on it. Again, this is a 12-pound leader. Smaller hook to accommodate smaller baits, because what we're trying to do is match the hatch as far as threadfish size goes. So we have been using a lot of shiners on Lake Lanier, the small, medium shiners. Now, what you do if you see fish on your sonar unit and your fish are, you know, I don't know, down 35, 40, 50 foot, a striper will go pretty far to grab a bait. I've seen them come up from, you know, 90 foot and hit a bait in 15 feet. So I don't know how they see it. Maybe they see the boat come up and zoom up to look at the boat, then see the bait and grab it. But they will come from a pretty good distance away to grab a bait. So what you do is, you know, what I like to do, if the fish aren't hitting planer boards, which we talked about that in another video, if the fish aren't hitting planer boards with no weights, you know, the lines with no weights, I'll add 1 split shot to one rod, 2 split shots to another rod, and I'll mix it up. I'll have, you know, because I run anywhere from 6 to 8 rods on my boat usually. So what I'll do is I'll have 1 rod with no weight, well, 2 rods with no weights, 2 rods with 1 split shot, and then 2 rods with 2 split shots. And whichever was the one getting the majority of the bites, that's when we'll switch all the rods over to that. But this essentially acts as like another downline, but far away from the boat, you know, because I run these depending on where I'm fishing. If I'm fishing out over the main river channel of a water body where the water is 80 plus feet, I might run this double split shot rig, you know, 80 to 120 foot back. And I know that line's deep. I mean, you got to figure the lines are probably on average a 45-degree angle. And if you have it at 100 foot, that line's down 50 feet. So there you go. And you could also do this off the back of planer boards too, you know, depending on how far you want to put the line back. It's all experimentation, man. It's find what the stripers want to eat that day is what you do. So that's it, man. You know, it's pretty much a Carolina rig, but I put my split shots ahead of the swivel and the bead. Let me see if I get that to stop bouncing. It's not going to stop bouncing, is it? But there's a rig, you know, swivel, beads, split shots. And the other thing is, you know, I do that because sometimes I could swap this rod in and out and put planer boards on it and whatnot. And plus, you know, the swivel and the lighter line, because, you know, you don't want to run 20-pound mono to it because stripers can be very line shy at times. So that was the two things that I had did in the video that probably needed a better explanation. So there you go. Yeah, other than that, I ain't got much else to say, man. Stick around. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to get better at sharing tactics and everything as time goes on. This is still new to me, trying to explain what I do and trying to explain while on the water. You know, it's so far I've made 40 plus videos, but the majority of them have just been me fishing with little brief explanations of stuff. And I take it for granted that people know what I'm talking about sometimes. So I throw things out there like, oh yeah, it's, you know, the flat line with the, you know, blah, 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 and then people are like, what the heck is he talking about? So moving on, I'll try to do a better job of explaining it. But yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later. And as always, like I said, you can find all that stuff at CaptainMax.com. He has the planer boards, split shot, swivels, all that good stuff. Yeah, so there's that. Oh, yeah. And by the way, like another thing too, if you're going to run downlines and whatnot, it's good to have a good lake map. You know, me, like I said, I prefer Humminbird and the Lake Master charts. Lake Master charts are exceptionally good. They have a lot of high def charts for Southeast lakes. And the thing is, why you would need a good lake map, well, you don't have to have it, but it does help immensely. Because if you see fish down at 50 feet, and you drop your downline down to 40 feet or 45 feet, and you don't have a lake map, and you don't know that hump that tops out at 20 feet is 50 feet away, and you're about to drag all your baits over top of it, you're going to get snagged a lot. You're going to break off a lot of rigs, and it gets really annoying. So a good lake map allows you to see things that are coming, so you can adjust your lines accordingly. And, you know, same thing with the flat lines. You know, you don't want to put a flat line with two split shots out, you know, 150 feet if you're about to come up on a 20-foot flat. You're just going to drag that bait across the bottom until you snag something, and that's it. So, yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all learned something. I hope somebody could use something that I shared today. And, yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to do a better job of explaining what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And, you know, for those guys that want to see that, hopefully there will be a bit of everything in there for everybody. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in. You know, like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that happy stuff, and I'll see you later. All right, it occurred to me that some people might want to know how we did on this fishing tournament that I was practicing for here. We bombed out really bad. If you'd have told me after this, first place was 66 inches was what won. Big fish was 36, and he had another 30-inch fish. Just goofing off and practicing. I mean, I really didn't stay on one spot for more than like 30 minutes on this practice day. And I had 63¼ inches without even trying. And I was really, really confident for the tournament. And yeah, we bombed out really bad. If you'd have told me that Friday after I got done practice fishing for the Saturday tournament that I was only going to catch one striper that was 26½ inches or however big it was, and that would be it, I'd have laughed at you, because I haven't had a day that bad for striper fishing in, God, forever. I can't even tell you how long it's been since I've only caught one striper and only caught one striper that was 26½ inches. I mean, that was the smallest striper I've caught this year on Lake Lanier, is the day of that tournament. And it's the only time I've been out on Lake Lanier this year where I've only caught one striper. So, yeah, we stunk it up. Yeah, we stunk it right up. I feel bad for my partner that came and fished with me that day, because I'm pretty sure he had high expectations, you know, because you know, without braggadocio, I do have a pretty good reputation of catching a lot of stripers on my, you know, home lake of Lake Lanier, and yeah, my reputation took a heavy hit that day. But hey, you know, it's all in, you know, it's all in good fun. I wanted my name on the trophy. I really thought I had a chance to do good, and as a friend of mine said, it was the kiss of death was doing well on the practice day, the day before the tournament. Jinxed myself, I guess. You know, if I'd have known that the fishing was going to be that hard for me Saturday, I would have just stayed on that first spot that I was at and just kept catching fish all Friday morning, you know, but oh well. You know, such is life. There's always next month's Striper Club tournament, so I'm going to fish that. You know, maybe we could redeem ourselves and do a little better, but yeah. It wasn't the greatest footage because we were intent on getting a good measurement out of it. So I wasn't really concerned with the camera at the time, you know, because I thought this fish was going to matter later. Yeah, like that 26 inch was going to mean anything later. But I mean, hey, little less than half the field blanked. So I mean, you know, I guess we did better than some, you know. But yeah, so we stunk it up. That's all there is to say about it. All right, later.